It would help if I turned on our microphone. So sorry you missed all that conversation.
It was really interesting too.
Yeah, so for those who weren't the three of us just chilling in this voice call, we've just been talking about, you know, adding the potential of adding new robots to the game, implications that would have on gameplay, and all that cool stuff. So Twitch, maybe if there's any specific robots you'd like to see, talk about them in chat. We could discuss their viability.
Yeah, we've also.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were talking... somebody in chat could have let us know that you couldn't hear us. It is my fault for not having the microphones on, because when the stream restarted, I need to manually do that. But please let us know.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah. We also talked about the viability of, if there are multiple robots, of having a tournament where everybody on one alliance had to play with different robots, which I came up with 2 minutes ago and have all of a sudden become very attached to that idea.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't know if you guys were around for the conversation too. We were talking about what we're going to talk about, what you can do with fun bucks. So we're also still taking suggestions for what to do with your thousands of fun bucks. Specifically, I have 13,000 that I'm looking to see if anyone has an idea for.
So the only thing I'll say is that the only thing I'll say is that people usually like want somebody to do something, and I'm gonna say let's in general rule it out, because I'm probably one of the only people who would be truly comfortable doing about anything on stream, and we do have many others that are on stream as well too. So I don't think that's necessarily a great idea, that route. So like I would love to find different things of like some other benefit you could get out of it that doesn't require somebody doing something stupid or something.
For 10,000 fun bucks, Tyler Oles will shave his head.
I am bald. I was gonna say, sure, why not? I do that every 3 days. So.
For 10,000 fun bucks, Tyler will stop shaving.
Do what he does every day.
Yeah. Continue to live life.
A couple of robots that have been mentioned in chat are 4143 and my alma mater 1425.
Some descriptions would be
what
good
do you
for
think
these.
about?
Oh. I don't know what 4143's robot looks like off the top of my head.
Is that Mars Wars?
I do know.
Nicholas L in chat saying it's a diff swerve, which is
differential
a swerve, I guess. Plus a turret, plus a hopper on an elevator. I think that is pretty insane. As 1425 release their robot.
Yes.
Probably you would know.
I would know. You can see a robot reveal. They also competed at the Clackamas event and performed pretty well. We're captains of the Finalist Alliance. Yeah, Clackams. Yep.
Clackams.
And they can collect 5 balls at a time. It's a traditional turret, like I don't know how many degrees, 180 maybe. I'm not an expert on.
We'll put the reveal URL in chat.
Yeah, you can see it. They also have the climber that can climb up and down the slide up and down the bar to balance, which I think is a neat touch.
But do you have a limelight?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just little side rant here. I was just thinking about like some of the behind the bumpers we do, and like we'll ask teams like, "Hey, what makes your team stand out?" They're like, "Well, we have a limelight. We'd love to talk about that." I'm like, "You and half the teams in FRC."
Everyone
now.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the question is how many limelights do you have in your robot? Because
if it's below
that
4,
could make you unique.
Yeah.
That's true. If you don't have a limelight on your turret and every corner of your robot, what are you doing?
I wish I knew if something actually good would happen by that, but I don't know anything about
Imagine
limelight.
just strobe lights.
Somebody posted a funny limelight hack video I saw, I think, in the FRC subreddit. Where they literally plug like a Raspberry Pi into a line.
Alrighty. If it works, I guess.
There you go. I don't think so.
Accidentally burned one out.
Of those.
That's too real.
So like one of those science fair things that you'll do in elementary school, where they make a potato battery or a lemon
the lime
battery
actually powers
the
limelight.
That's cool. That's cool.
See, that would be legit. If you can get a lime to power the limelight, I'd be really impressed by that.
So I do know that organic material is banned on Frc Robots, which unfortunately, that's going to cause a problem there.
Well, what if you don't get an organic lime?
Okay, that's all right.
I'm
just saying.
Man, I hope you don't burn out lime lights. Lime lights are expensive.
Oh, you mean the one that's sitting on my bedroom counter that caught on fire? Wasn't supposed to do that? Oh.
I mean,
I've been meaning
most
slime like
most things are not meant to catch on fire.
They reached out to me and asked if I'd sent it, but was not. I haven't been able to get to a can of post recently, so I'll have to do that next time I'm out shopping. I wonder how fast I can expedite a package to Nevada. Well, that match completed. We see that one going to blue. Now just looking at the queue as they queue back up.
Yeah, hopefully I think the rankings are down right now, right? The bot that does the results.
The submit is down, yeah. Sure. Yeah, so we're not going to see how people's elo change per match, which is unfortunate, but or at least we weren't before. I think Brennan said he might have. Oh, moment of truth.
Right, yeah.
Brennan said he had rebooted the bot. We'll see if it works.
Cone's elo probably not actually 1200.
No, it is.
It shouldn't be, is my point.
Apparently it is.
You lost a lot of times.
At least Brennan has an error code. Hooray!
That would be a lot of times.
No, I know. I asked Brennan about it because I was like, oh, Cone's gonna be like number 1 in the world or whatever. And then I looked and I'm like, he's in silver with 1200 elo? What?
That's amazing. It's a oh crap, man. What do they call accounts when you start a new one? Just
Smurf.
Smurf.
Yeah, thank you.
Cone's smurfing.
Oh, now
one
Brennan's
of the rules
down
we
to
do
1200.
Oh no. Eli 2791 now. Oh, now everyone's challenger. The bot is doing its best.
Oh, I apparently am now above average, which is not correct.
Everybody screenshot that. You know that you're challenger now.
Yeah.
You get to join the special challenger chat room.
Oh, that's true.
That's a thing.
I don't know.
Well, we can't. You're not challenger.
Do I look like a challenger to you?
I don't know. I have staff privileges. I should be able to see it.
I just see everything.
I'm
here just to ping people,
that
really.
The staff aren't allowed.
Tyler is omniscient.
I just exist to send pings.
Honestly, fair. Valid.
Somebody has to, right? Like the ping person's always hated, but I'll take it.
Oh.
Not people complain to me about things. I don't care anymore.
Tyler, I got a ping.
Oh.
No.
It's usually other stuff. Like, oh, you said that one thing in that one show that one time. I didn't like that. I'm like, yeah, well, everybody has their time where they don't like something they see. So. Also,
again, I remember nothing that I talk about on stream.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, yeah, cool.
That's great. Send me the Twitch clip.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Memorable Tegan streaming moment, though. I think you know what I'm referring to.
Oh, no, Israel being canceled?
I wasn't even on stream.
No, Fish or Friends, not food.
Oh, okay. Israel being canceled, I wasn't actually on stream for. Fish or Friends, not food was just not one of my best moments. Or one of my best moments, depending on who you ask.
It was certainly entertaining.
That was, well, I don't know, Tyler, are you MC or GA for events?
I'm typically MC.
Like in actual first.
Typically
Have
MC.
you ever joked enough that you had to like leave?
Have I what?
Have you ever made yourself laugh so hard you needed to take a breather and leave? And with Fish or Friends, not food.
I don't think so, but
yeah,
if I did, I was probably acting.
No, that was what, 3 competitions ago or something? What a day.
In your defense, you were very tired.
I was very tired. I'm constantly very tired, but I was very tired.
But why did you say Fish or Friends, not food?
I don't know.
No,
it was during a match. They were like teammates were fighting over some power cells, And I'm like, fish are friends, not food.
Why not?
I kept it together for the rest of the match and then just completely fell apart.
And this was a real life GA or during SRC?
No, this was during SRC, thankfully.
Okay.
I'm not a real life GA.
My favorite part. My favorite part of that whole ordeal was when a very confused Nick had to step in and start commentating in the middle of a match. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not a real life GA. I'm just an referee.
An effery.
I'm an effery and a scorer, but one day maybe I'll GA, but early is basically a version of.
Are you guys 3D printing something, Tegan?
I am 3D printing in the background.
What are you printing?
It's almost done, thankfully, and that'll be quiet. Masks, actually, for local healthcare workers.
Awesome.
There's a big push in Kingston to do that right now.
Or what?
No, these are like the shells for the N95 masks.
Oh, sure. So that's awesome.
Yeah, so Waffles has been doing some of that, and I've been kind of heading up the charge on that. I've got my printer of my own that I've been using. So essentially, in Kingston, it's pretty easy. If you're not using your own filament, they come by once a week. You give them your prints. They'll give you, however much filament you then, meet up once a week. They'll tell you if they need you to start printing something else, but it's like the shells right now for the N95 masks. And then I guess they put a filter in them, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know a lot of FRC and other first teams have been making a lot of stuff like that. Quite a few teams here in Oregon have been doing that. It's really awesome to see the first community come together in a time of general confusion and distress, and then help those who have been helping us, which it's really awesome to see. And good job, everybody.
I still have a really big issue with ventilators and people posting about ventilator stuff. There are a couple out there that are, true medical grade, or at least are doing things that benefit the medical community. And I still see others out there like I'm sorry, I have a huge issue that first during their whatever that awards show thing that they did, I forget what they called it.
Yeah.
Literally showed a Vex robot that was, or a FTC robot that was a ventilator. And like, why are you encouraging people to make ventilators out of FTC robots? That is absolutely not acceptable to do, and don't do that.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. Just general face masks. Yeah. They're helpful for the everyday person. It's not what you want to wear in a hospital, but it's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the general thing is follow your local government regulations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. Like for us, it's not. You don't just make your own CAD files and start printing those and donate those out. Like hospitals, I know here have approved step files that you can print, and if you can print those in their the filament they want, they'll gladly take it. But if you make a modification to it, they don't necessarily know if that'll meet their standard. So the biggest thing is that you follow, and if you don't know, ask. That's something we did here, where it was clarifying the filament they wanted was a different filament than what we had at home. So started printing with the new stuff, and had to obviously get adjusted to it. But if it's what the hospitals need, then obviously you kind of adapt to that, and it's that goes a lot better. And it's the same with the ventilators. They're probably not going to get used in actual medical situations.
Yeah.
And so if you're doing that, your best bet is to take those resources that you would have, and the ones you'd be putting towards those ventilators, and do it for something that is actually going to be able to make a difference. I mean, it's a very cool project, don't get me wrong. It's very cool to do principles of mechanics like that, but circuits, but there's better ways to than going out and making something that could open you up to a lawsuit, could potentially endanger someone, crazy stuff like that. You want to, in this time, we all want to be healthy. The point is to stay healthy, not take unnecessary risks.
So Tegan, are you still seeing demand for these as well too? Because with things seemingly slowing down right now, hopefully it continues that way. Do you still see demand for more? Because I guess they can be used indefinitely, right?
Yeah, so these masks right now, there was originally a big need directly in healthcare workers, like the ones in the local hospitals. This most recently, in the last 2 weeks, we've also started just to the hospitals. So we're kind of filling a bigger need now. So it's not the urgent hospitals are out of healthcare, but more facing things like, okay, now what about other frontline workers that aren't at the local hospital? You know, ones like, I'm just pulling the email I actually got where it's saying, well, anticipate what the future will hold. We're still supplying an average of 500 units per week with new orders coming in. There's still a need for PPE among healthcare workers, though we're lucky in this local area. Kingston, where I'm at right now, the need is diminished. We only have one current case of COVID in the city. But many of you guys and ourselves have recognized the need for PPE for frontline workers at personal support workers, shelters, grocery clerks, correctional officers. So, especially in Kingston, there's a lot of the federal prisons here. So we've got a lot of frontline workers in the prisons who now need that, you know, that PPE essentially. So instead of going directly to the local hospital, we're able to kind of service almost a broader community, which is giving more impact. We're finding that. And it's good too to make an impact like that, because I think some of these changes we'll see forever. You know, masks in grocery stores we'll see forever.
You think so?
And I know Tim Hortons has said they're going to do it forever, and if Tim Hortons is going to do it, why wouldn't the rest of Canada?
Isn't Tim Hortons not like an iconic thing in Canada anymore? Didn't they sell out or whatever?
Yeah, like the owners aren't Canadian anymore, but it's still pretty, you know, pretty Canadian in that, like, phrases we'll use are still Canadian. I know last week we touched on some of the Canadian phrases, like a double-double is a uniquely Canadian phrase thanks to Tim's.
I mean, I don't know.
Like
it's also a big In-N-Out burger phrase too.
What's an In-N-Out?
Overrated chain restaurant from California.
Yeah, it's only available in like the West Coast and Texas. No, not at all.
Okay.
Anybody who says In-N-Out is overrated, that doesn't know what they're talking about.
Not sure I agree with that, Tyler.
Where else are you going to find a burger of that price, of that caliber?
Burgerville?
What?
Come to the P&W, get yourself some high quality.
Who knows what that is?
Maybe that's just a P&W is just one of the weird districts. I'll just say that instead. I'll just say P&W is weird. Hold on.
All right. How so?
That's
I'm curious.
I don't know. How's P&W weird? There was a robot one year that won banners with 2 Sims on the drivetrain in P&W. That could only happen in P&W.
Yeah. I mean, it probably could happen other places too. It was a good robot. It was a good robot. It wasn't the best in defense, but a good robot nonetheless.
You guys still have Alaska teams? Oh, there's still that one, isn't there?
Well, there's one, and they won chairmans this year, which is
that's right, cool. Because they're from like the team is like all over Alaska, right?
Yeah. It's just the Anchorage area, I'm pretty sure, but it's still. I believe it pulls from 13 different schools. I think is what I saw.
Huh.
Yeah, because I know they have Anchorage. I've seen they do Anchorage or the Nerds of the North. I've heard that they really tailor to like what was it called? What was the word I was looking for?
I thought I saw their chairman's video this year, and they mentioned that they
have people remotely. Yes, because I follow their Twitter, and I've seen them post about it remotely. But the people who build the robot are all out of Anchorage.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess that makes sense. That'd be pretty hard to build the robot remotely.
Yeah, but like your business team, your chairman's team, etc., are all remote. Which is interesting because we've actually been following them. I don't know how much you guys know about First Lego League, but with the COVID thing, they were first to start the task of doing virtual tournaments last year because they were doing it for the teams in Alaska that would have had to fly in otherwise. So this year, they're already one step ahead of the game. All the resources coming out for like tournament directors and whatnot will talk about, okay, well, in Alaska, when you need virtual meetings, that means you need referees watching the video. Like, they're actually, you know, kind of groundbreaking. They were one step ahead of it, and now everyone's going to have to follow their lead because in the fall, who knows what you can do. So that's, I don't know. I've always wanted to go to Alaska.
Yeah. We ended up doing something through, technically not First Nevada, but through First Nevada, where we did a virtual invitational. We had like 50 teams from like 9 countries participate in it, and it was definitely quite interesting to do, but I think it would be acceptable at a Lego League level to do in the future as well, just because everybody has different cameras and that sort of thing, so it makes it very hard to get any consistency out of it. But surprisingly, it worked better than I thought it would. Like I said, I don't think at an FTC or FRC level it would be probably acceptable to do, but at an FLL level, I think you could pull something like that off. So it'll be interesting to see.
For sure, and especially like FRC relies on team-to-team interaction.
Yeah.
So FLL, where at most you have 2 teams interacting over one game element, you don't really get that as much.
Yeah.
And even then, you can kind of say, okay, 3, 2, 1, go, and the refereeing all happens afterwards. The score is determined at the end of the match, which is easier for a ref. I've done a little bit of FLL reffing as well, and it's doable. Judging is doable if you do it virtually, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
curious, how do they handle the manual hands-on changes, like how you take a mechanism off and put on another? How do they handle that?
They would do it at their location. So as the team, they would get together, and then they just broadcast it to whoever was hosting the tournament. So
okay.
So what we did this year,
yes,
in particular with COVID going on, is you just had only one family per team. So like everybody else, they could zoom into the call and watch, but they wouldn't obviously be able to do that because they couldn't meet in person. So it was just typically one family had the robot and then did the broadcast.
Oh, okay, I see. I was thinking the robots who were like nailed to one place, and one person just did that. That's what I was thinking.
They break so much. They break so badly. Those robots are so bad.
So get this, there was one team at the event that we did where they all lived within a few blocks of each other. So for each one of their matches, one person literally would drove the robot over, left at the doorstep, and then left, and the other person picked up the robot and put it on their field. And they just had a field at each person's house, so then each one of the kids could actually do the match, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. I think that's the issue we're facing right now, is like for our Lego teams, it's not one family. So trying to figure out what we're going to do for the fall, but if need be, right now, we're still restricted to only meetings of 5. Canada's a little slower on the opening back up, just trying to make sure everything's okay.
Oh, Wisconsin, we have no regulations right now, so.
Yeah. Right now, we're still like restricted to 5 people, although if you look outside, you wouldn't know it. But so if that means we're going to have teams of maybe 3 students and then 2 mentors, that's what we got to do to make sure we're okay. But, you know, just trying to adapt, make sure all the kids get their fun in, because right now, you know, obviously missing out on summer camp, missing out on things like that. You want to make sure at least the fall is going to go well. So
what's Waffles going to do in the fall? You know, you want to meet as a team, right? And that might not be fully possible still. Or do you think by
so we're
fall
still meeting
that
virtually. I honestly no clue. We're still going to meet we're still meeting virtually right now. We actually have our district championship chairman's presentation in a few days, so we've been meeting a lot more recently.
Nice.
Good luck. Thank you. Yeah, that's coming up soon, so we've been meeting for that. Some CAD stuff has been going on as well, some projects there, so doing meetings like that. But it's harder for sure, because a lot of these kids are virtual, are from different schools, so it's harder when you don't get to see your friends that you wouldn't normally see in your school classes, so it's kind of harder to keep up that way, but hopefully we're looking to start strong, maybe work on some robot improvements, because that's definitely in the cards for next year. Work on improving what we had, and for example, working that we didn't have for a week 1 event, we should have had for week 3, but obviously things just working on constantly improving.
Gabby, has your team talked about plans for next season at all? Or next?
I don't know. I am not officially affiliated with the team, so sometimes I'll chat with people, my friends that are still on the team, or I'll like talk to mentors or whatever at competitions, but I'm not super in the loop on what my old team does. I would love to mentor at some point after college, but with my current schedule, I do not have the time.
Well, I think you're able to contribute still to the first community in general, right? You don't necessarily have to mentor, you're still doing something to do it, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think so. But yeah, with my schedule, it's a little tough to mentor a team, put as much time like that on a scheduled, regular basis. I would love to at some point again. I would love to at some point. I can't right now, but
there's nothing wrong with that, man.
He's too busy getting ready to work for the Blue Jays, because he's going to move to Toronto, and he's going to move to Canada, and he's going to mentor the Waffles.
That could theoretically happen.
it could.
How would you work for the Blue Jays?
So I am a data analyst for my school's baseball team.
Sure.
Which I think is really cool. So that's my job now. It's like 20 hours a week. Don't really have the time. With that, I don't really have the time to mentor. But I like it. I think it's rewarding. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see all of the payoffs because much of the season ended up being canceled. But I enjoyed what I did. I enjoy what I am doing, and I am excited to go back and work for them again in the fall.
Have you ever talked to Caleb Sykes at all?
A little bit, just kind of on DMs, chatted a little bit about a couple things.
Sure.
Not a bunch. I know he is. I don't know if he ended up getting the job, but at one point he was looking to get a job at 538.
No, he didn't, but he's working out in Pennsylvania, I think, right now, or something like that.
All right.
Doing something else. So.
Yeah, 538 is pretty cool. I like the stuff that Caleb does on GIF Delphi. If I had the dedication and programming ability as that he did, I'd be doing stuff similarly too. But sure. I am not quite. I'm not that. I don't have that much time, and I'm also not that good at code. So.
Yeah, Caleb's stuff is insanely complicated, but it works so well. We use it. I know he's got his like match predictor. We even use that in our scouting. When it comes to scouting meetings, we'll look at that to kind of help us predict how rankings are going to end up. Actually, it's helped us out a lot. So I'm not a big stats person. I actually like Kavi is the stats man. I failed statistics, currently retaking it, but you know, like all the statistics and stuff that help out with strategy too are pretty intense.
So, Kabi, is your favorite movie Moneyball?
So I love the book. The book is amazing.
Sure.
The movie is a bit what's the right word? Like
Hollywood.
Yeah, sure. It's fine. I just don't think it did the book the justice that the book deserves.
Sure. And those don't know money.
What's your favorite book?
Yeah.
Oh man, favorite book probably To Kill a Mockingbird, but Moneyball might be my favorite nonfiction.
There you go. Moneyball is all about utilizing statistics and how it changed baseball. With who is the guy? Bill James, right? Is
Billy Bean is the guy that?
Yeah, but Bill James is in regards to where the original concept came from, right?
Yeah. Yes, mostly. He's definitely very famous in baseball history, sure. And with statistics. He's not the same style as Billy Bean.
Okay.
But Billy Bean definitely drew inspiration from Bill James. That is definitely something that happened.
Is it bad that I'm trying to think of that famous, like, I know nothing about baseball, okay?
I am aware.
And I'm trying to think,
this.
Yes. And I'm trying to name
as many baseball players as you could, and it was...
Yeah, the worst part is I was trying to think of the name of the famous guy who played for the New York team, and I couldn't think of any other name but Bobby Orr. Which is not...
Hockey. That's hockey.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't remember what his name is. Yes, that's the one. This is really bad.
All right.
I couldn't think of the name Babe Ruth. Kept thinking of Bobby Orr, which tells you how much I know about baseball.
Yeah.
Me and
Megan knows like 3 baseball players, and one of them she went to high school with.
Yes. I went to high school with a pitcher on the Padres, so that's how I know that one. And then I know the one that Karthik always wears the jersey of. And then
Jose
sometimes.
Bautista?
Yes. And sometimes I know Babe Ruth. Not always, clearly.
Mm-hmm. And you also heard of Lou Gehrig, but because of the disease, not because of his baseball.
That makes it 4. It's almost not.
Fine. I don't know too many hockey players either, so.
Robotics and race cars are my thing. I'm not so much into sports.
Oh, yeah, I know very few race cars.
Race cars isn't a sport. You said it, by the way.
I did? No,
yeah,
I did.
You just said it. Clip that.
I don't know a lot of sports except race cars and I guess I don't know like team sports is what I went.
Oh.
Racing is definitely a sport.
All right.
Anyone who says otherwise is blatant. Except e-racing is different. I will admit that like virtual racing is not nearly as sport-like. But I guess like virtual baseball,
What
but not
is a
also
sport?
but also not be a sport. Now this is philosophical. What truly
like,
I
is?
think it's
like,
interesting what is a sport and what is athletic. I think those are
Right,
two
because
different.
are athletics and sports the same thing? Because there are definitely things that aren't sports that are athletic, right? Or such as
That's true.
like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that actually some.
What
people
would be
sport.
but that's the thing in the Olympics. There's
The
that whole
square
section
rectangle
called
thing.
like athletics. That's like they call like athletics like your track and
that's
field.
track and field.
Is track and field a sport? I think it
For
is.
sure, track and field.
It's not a team sport.
No, well, I mean, it
Yeah,
kind of is.
Oh, it could be.
Oh,
There
it
are
can be. That's true.
team scoring, team scoring. Although teamwork isn't particularly common in track and field unless it's relay.
Well, is first a sport?
Robotics
There's
is
your
the
real
sport for the mind.
Yeah.
It's the sport for the mind.
trademark that, right? So
The varsity sport for the mind.
Hey Siri, what's the definition of a sport?
As a noun, it means an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Do you want to hear the next one?
No.
Tegan, does racing involve physical exertion? Because I have no idea.
well, pit crew does, and I guess being in the car does, right?
Yeah, being in the car because you're fighting against the G-forces, which is
that makes sense.
physically exerting,
And the sweat.
it's cardio. It's really
the
hot.
closest thing to racing I've ever done is go-karts when I was 9 at Bullwinkles, so...
Yeah, like I'm
I
trying
have
to
the
think.
wrong
They
Discord
did,
up right now. Sorry, guys.
no, you're good. They did a study on just how hot it gets in the cockpit of some of the race cars. I'll see if I can find the number, but it was really bad. Temperature.
Now keep in
race
mind, what
car.
he's gonna say is most likely gonna be in Celsius. So
No,
it's gonna be like,
No.
Chat, let us know. Is first a sport in your opinion?
Temperatures inside the cars range from 120 to 300. No, 120 to 130. Jesus, 120 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
that's pretty
cars
warm.
don't-
And people
Yeah.
say I can't leave a kid in the car.
And a kid in a full bodysuit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's not comfortable.
First is it.
I didn't say
if you-
athletic sport. I just said
color-
sport.
Well, that was because what? Well, did Siri put the word definition, or did
I don't know.
Siri put the definition athletic in?
They
sport
did, yeah.
Yeah, they
definition?
did.
did.
They said athletic
Yeah, so
and team. Yeah, so
No,
sorry.
they said individual or team.
No,
Oh, okay, I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Yeah.
An activity involving physical exertion, but strategy is one of the most physically exerting things. Or like sometimes it's a lot of physical
Well,
exertion to take off a wheel on the drivetrain.
I'm not sure how
perhaps.
strategy is physically
That's mental.
exertion.
Running around to find the people is the physically exerting.
Okay, so
Running
I
around
guess.
Detroit trying to find the people.
I have to admit though, like just speaking about sports with first, I actually have equated first to being as probably closest to racing in general in regards to like how it's actually operated. Because if you think about like you have your pit crew, you have your driver, you have other people that are handling statistics and that sort of thing on what should be done. So first to me is actually closest, or even though I don't like racing at all, I think first is definitely closest to racing.
I'm sorry.
I was
SSC
very into
kid that wants to
racing as
be
a small child. Very into it.
I don't
And
dislike
then
racing, I just don't watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
4 or 5-year-old me would have
chess
known
players-
everything about racing.
What about
Don't
NASCAR?
chess players burn
Not-
insane number of calories?
What?
I don't know. Brennan's asking in chat.
In a
Chess
game?
players burn calories? I guess I gotta start
I
playing
don't know.
chess as my workout.
That's true. I was
could
way
be
skinnier when I used to play chess.
When I did math fleets, massive nerd here. But aren't we all if we're watching this? When I did mathletes, I definitely felt very hungry afterwards. I do not know if that's not a scientific study, but it is personal experience that applies.
No, so this actually looks like it's a thing. Richard posted it in chat, and I just found the link myself. Robert Sapolsky, who studies stress in primates at Stanford, says chess players can burn up to 6,000 calories a day while playing in a tournament, 3 times the average consumption, based on breathing rates, blood pressure, and muscle contractions.
I'm stressed out all the time, and I'm still fat.
No, right?
Well, it's because you're not concentrating. I think that's
sure.
Come on, Tyler, start concentrating more.
But for like 30 minutes at a time, picking all those different things. Very
does that mean that FRC Simulator could be a sport?
Yep.
Because they're like focused and sweaty.
Not that focused.
I don't
know.
FRC Simulator, being a driver, and that is no different than being a driver in a real game in regards to, I think, what would constitute a sport.
I don't know if I agree.
Twitch, let us know if you sweat while playing FRC Simulator.
You're on a controller. You're in many cases the exact same controller.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is true.
It's so, I don't know. It's very different from me.
I don't think
it's so much less stressful in FRC Sim. Like, I wasn't like the coach or driver on my team, but I did at off-season events a couple times, and I was very stressed out.
Really?
I would not have made it.
Yeah, I was behind the glass for 3 years in high school, and I honestly don't think I was ever that stressed, because you're so in the zone that stress before and after maybe, but during a match you're so in the zone that God, you can't even hear the person screaming next to you most of the time.
Yeah, see, we're different in that regard.
Maybe so.
I'm gonna bring in a third opinion.
All right.
Brennan, you're here now.
Hello.
As the local drive coach, we're debating, is being a drive coach, being behind the glass, equivalent to FRC Sim, the stress levels of FRC Sim, or the focus required?
Driving or drive coach?
We'll start with driving, I guess, but then also drive coaching. I don't know.
I think driving's more stressful. I don't know. There's different things, right? So I've been both. When I first started coaching, it was very stressful for me because I felt like I didn't have control, right? Because I'm not literally driving the robot. So it's like, oh, just turn a little bit more, or like whatever. You know how it usually is. But now it's it's pretty casual. It's whatever. People are.
Would you equate it to FRC Sim?
Yeah, similar, I guess. I was listening to the conversation earlier. I have similar opinions to Tyler there. It's just like it's not really stressful in the moment, but like at the beginning or the end maybe, or like 5 seconds to go in the match, drivers can stress out for sure. Do something crazy.
I think that can impact them during the match, no doubt, though. Like if a driver's not in the right zone before a match starts. Especially if they feel that pressure, like, oh god, I need this to go into the finals or something like that, and they let that build up, I think then that will impact them during a match. Even if they are still back in the zone, it will still cause some negative impacts.
Yeah, definitely.
When's the submission going to be fixed?
I know, right? That's what I'm working on.
We appreciate you, Brennan.
All right. Never met you before, but you seem to be doing okay.
A specific player seems to be crashing it. Okay.
I'll let you go back to your coding. Thanks for helping. Awesome. Thanks, Brennan.
Goodbye. Couple comments from chat, by the way. Let's see. King Caper, if people compare driving IRL to playing Call of Duty, that ain't right. I don't know. It's driving I think Call of Duty is probably more stressful than driving. I guess it depends where you live, but Richard
depends on if it's like driving on the roads, right? If it's like driving downtown Detroit, scariest moment of my life. Okay. We had just gotten to Detroit. We were ready for champs or whatever, and we're trying to figure out how to get to our hotel, and there's like 30 lanes in the middle of the road. Some of them are like, oh, here, this one will now automatically take you to the left. Some of them just like end, the lanes just disappear. One of them sends you back to Canada.
Well, welcome to America, where we have 30 lanes of road and it's all concrete paved.
Downtown Detroit is awful. I don't know what. It was just And then I'm like, okay, well, if I go the wrong way, like, it's also 2 in the morning.
Wait, you're complaining about traffic at 2 in the morning?
No, not the traffic, not knowing where to go. Because I'm like, shoot, if I go the wrong way, is someone gonna like rear end me in this car in this country that I don't know? Yeah, you have to willingly get on a bridge to drive into a tunnel, but like the lane just disappears. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like 2 in the morning. All my passengers are asleep, and I'm just like, I'm trying to get to the hotel, please. And finding parking at Kobo was also hard because like the parking up to the roof and trying to find it, I remember that was also an experience last year.
So I just want to comment off of Richard Don's comment. It says FRC has you on a shoddy bleacher stand with everybody talking and screaming at once and trying to keep up with every single robot and thing going on in a gym stadium if you are scouting. XRC sim is in your room. No doubt, you know, like scouting and that sort of thing. I mean, obviously that's a very different experience, you know, versus being in the sim versus being there at an event. But I don't know. I still think driving is somewhat similar. I mean, there's obviously the environment's different, but it's not like I highly doubt too many drivers when they're at an event just stop and be like, you know, think about they appreciate the crowd around them. Like I don't know. I don't find that, at least in all the times that I've emceed as well too. Like it's hard to sometimes just stop and recognize what's going on. I think most people just they do their task and what they're supposed to do, and that's not much different.
I'm not sure the environment is really what defines something as a sport or not. Because if you're like me and play baseball on an open field with nobody but the players, that's not inherently a different sport or not a sport compared to playing in a Major League Baseball stadium in front of thousands of fans. So I think that's not really related to whether or not it's a sport. What I do think is more related to that is the virtual versus physical competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, a large part of FRC is definitely the environment, like having the team there, having your friends, having, you know, all that good stuff. But at the same time, like, since they're like more laid back, doesn't mean they're not a competition. I think going into a I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Cobby, aren't you a Seahawks fan?
Yeah. I am not a Seahawks fan.
Yeah, okay, but you know about the 12th man, right?
I do know about it.
Okay,
yeah.
I mean, isn't that kind of go against them what you just said, because the environment is creating the 12th man at the Seahawks stadiums?
That's not. That doesn't change the sportlyhood of football. That might give a certain team an advantage. Slight advantage because of the environment, but that doesn't make it any less or more of a sport, I don't think.
Sure.
Like, yeah. And about what someone said, Guru Stave in chat says that sport must have an objective scoring system, which I actually agree with. I've had a conversation with somebody about whether or not dance or like dancing is a sport, and I say it's an athletic. It takes a lot of physical ability, that's for sure. Way more than I will ever have. But it doesn't have an objective scoring system.
Gustav does say or rubric system. Gustav did say that.
I don't know. I feel like if something is based on judging, like a judge decides how good something is, it should be considered an art and not a sport.
But then you can think like gymnastics too.
Right, I consider that an art over a sport. That is me.
Oh no, we noticed the opposite climb. Don't worry, but it was just a meme match.
And the 171 to 134 score, which I didn't you guys say this wasn't counting? So I'm confused.
Yeah, they aren't watching. They just talking chill vibes.
We're watching, kinda.
Yeah, no, I am physically. I see Labib, Anthony, Nyella, Javon, Max, and Jake.
Jake, fellow Oregonian, represent.
Oh, Firefly is new. Welcome to Firefly.
Welcome to Firefly.
Welcome Firefly to the event of today.
It's a great show.
Today is
though.
the event. It's the
you were talking
Tyler,
about it, right?
Tag, and Cobby talk show. What was I talking about?
You were talking about Firefly the other day, weren't you?
Firefly the phone. No, Firefly the phone. Yes.
You were Firefly the phone. That is what it was. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
The phone so back when I was in like 3rd grade, the first phone I got because I was going to the Montreal F1 race, and my parents were like, she's gonna get lost and die if she doesn't have a phone to like call dad or whatever, which is objectively true. So there was these phones called Fireflies, which were so popular for like whatever tweens, whatever the word is, and it had 2 buttons, one for mom, one for mom, one for dad, and one for like a contact book and the police. That was it. And it like changed colors. It looked like, I don't know, you could hold it in your hand. It didn't have any like texting buttons or whatever. And that way, you know, you didn't die as a child.
My niece has a watch like that now, actually. It actually has a cell phone plan like that, but it's a watch.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the Firefly was like, that was what, circa 2006/7?
I miss the Jitterbug personally.
So. The Palm Trio.
Jitterbug, you know, like the old person phone, and it just had like giant numbers, and it could do like 5 things. Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something incredibly satisfying about a slide or flip phone for me.
Oh,
that's also what I first had. I had a slide.
That
phone.
was my like first actual phone. Was the slide phone.
And I'm not even that old.
I remember. Yeah.
Oh, look at this picture of the Firefly. It was posted in chat.
Yeah, Richard showed the. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
Mine was green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was green.
That thing probably had like a 4-week battery life too.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it like
it's
never
like
died.
The old Nokia brick
It was
phones.
fantastic. Yeah, it was fantastic. And there was like a game you could play on it, I think, if I'm remembering right.
Snake.
And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the hang up button and the phone button.
Okay, so there's one that has more of a colored screen. The other one just has a.
Yeah, no,
like
I didn't have the colored screen. I didn't have the colored screen. I had the green pod that I guess was meant to like physically look like a Firefly, and then you could change out the cases to have the different colors. I had a clear one and a green one.
That's amazing.
And then then came the slide phone.
But, so good question. Yeah, is gymnastics a sport, Kabi?
I already answered. I said what I thought on it. I thought it's more of an art form than a sport because of the no defined, like truly defined scoring system. But I was wondering
so
what
you're calling it like glorified ballet then, right?
It's different, but I do think it's more of an art form. I mean, it is in the Olympics.
I definitely think
I disagree with the World High Sporting Authority, the Olympics. But I'm not saying Simone Biles isn't incredibly talented and insanely impressive. I'm just saying I think it's in a different category.
I would almost say that the jumping, like the artistic gymnastics, is different than like rhythmic is the one with like the balls and the hoops and stuff. Like to me, that's very artistic. The one with the jumpy, flippy, spinny thing, I think that is a sport personally, just because it is very much a show of athleticism.
And
diving is another.
Gymnastics and the Olympic Committee having a semi-loose definition on sport. They also technically consider chess a sport, which I like chess. I don't think it's a sport. I think it's a board game. But you know, it's very complex.
Well, you know, here's the real question: why does it matter? I think that the answer is for people outside of the organization that provided validity. So people are like, oh, okay, I can relate to that. But I mean, really, in general, it doesn't matter, right? Like when it comes down to it, if it's a sport,
yeah, not really.
It's something like somebody does.
Yeah, if you like it, you like it. That's fair. I don't know. I think just words have definitions, and we like, as humans, we like to neatly categorize things into broader categories of sport and not sport.
Nobody uses a Dewey Decimal System anymore, Cody. Come on.
I prefer the Library of Congress system, but you know, to each his own, I suppose.
And everybody uses that.
They do. It's very good.
Very good. Who's they?
Well,
okay.
The libraries.
The Library of Congress.
Well, yes, the Library of Congress and my school's library, both of my school's libraries.
Are you checking out books at the school library?
Yeah.
That's
sports, what libraries are for. Not about, well, one of them was about sports, but it was about physics in sports, because I had to do a project apparently no one has ever solved the problem, so it was a little bit above my pay grade of college sophomore. But I was working on a physics problem that was related to baseball, but that was the only sports-related book I've checked out from the school library.
Is hot dog a sandwich? Isn't that? I think it's a podcast now.
Speaking of controversial subjects, is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a taco a sandwich? Is a hamburger a sandwich?
Hamburger is clearly a sandwich.
Yeah, hamburger, I agree, is.
Okay.
I believe a sandwich is something that requires vertical meat.
Vertical meat?
Yeah, like the bun is above and below.
Okay, what are open face sandwiches? Are those things or not?
Well, that's a variation, you know. So.
All right.
So then, what if a variation is like you could eat a hot dog sideways, and that could, or like you could call it a hot dog.
So I don't think an open face sandwich is a sandwich, right? It's just being called that. It's more of something else. But.
Yeah.
Oh, is a McDonald's apple pie a burrito?
Hi, Cal.
No, because burrito implies Mexican descent. Or inspiration.
Oh, this is the light bulb that I lost earlier.
Then Taco Bell doesn't make burritos. So.
I said or inspiration.
Oh, okay.
It's clearly inspired by Mexican food.
Taco Bell
you look at Taco
is
Bell
just so much worse in Canada than the US. It's
really?
sad.
What?
Yeah, oh no. Yeah, Taco Bell in Canada just kind of, like, it's still Taco Bell, don't get me wrong. But the meat is, like, better, which makes it worse.
So, Caltran, I have really sad news for you.
Meant
they don't make those anymore.
But in a good way.
Yeah, they've been discontinued. The Taco Bell apple empanadas have been discontinued.
They kept getting smaller and smaller.
Okay, the last time I ever had one, it was just the shell and maybe a little bit of apple caramel goo.
You mean
in
scalding apple caramel?
It was the most disappointing thing.
Yeah, I agree.
All day, that happened to me that day. Yeah, it's sad. You could see the deterioration of their commitment to the caramel apple empanada.
Have you guys ever been to one of those cantinas, by the way?
Cantina.
A Taco Bell cantina.
I've heard of a cantina.
So the Taco Bell cantina is like a fancy Taco Bell, and it's still a counter service, but they have a bunch of different other things in the menu. They do new testings. You can get margaritas there, stuff like that.
I'm not sure
Definitely
they have that.
Don't have those here.
There's only like 6 or 10 in existence or whatever.
I'm googling.
You can also get married there.
I mean, you can get married at Taco Bell.
No, they have like a full-on marital marriage wedding package thing you can do.
That seems odd.
Toronto's first fancy Taco Bell that served beer has closed.
Oh, okay. Apparently, the nearest one. The nearest one to me is in Sacramento. So, that's
apparently I have one in my state, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I see it.
I need to tell my wife this.
One to Madison, I see.
Going on a road trip.
Yeah, that's only like an hour 20 away from me.
Cantina location.
Nice. Yeah, if I wanted to go one and be 12 hours away, I'd rather just have my local Mexican food.
We've been there in Vegas. We've always gone in Vegas, so.
Ah. But yeah, there are 2 in Vegas.
Oh, is there? I've been to one on the Strip. But...
one in Vegas and one in Paradise, just outside.
Well, the Strip is not in Vegas, technically.
I've never been to Vegas. One's right by the airport, McCarran International.
Sure.
And then the other one is by Slotzilla Zipline, Heart Attack Grill, Denny's.
Yeah, so they made one downtown.
It's on Fremont Street.
So Fremont Street's downtown, and the other one is next to
the airport.
No, it's north of the airport. Unless it closed down, there's a Taco Bell cantina right in front of Planet Hollywood.
It looks like it's it's like 3 blocks north of the airport. It looks like.
I'm trying to figure out which one of them is close.
I don't know. I've never been. I don't know what it's like.
Dude, Caltran Heart Attack Grill is a crazy place. If you weigh over 350 pounds, you go on a scale and you get free burgers there.
That's insane.
If somebody legitimately had a heart attack there. At the one in Vegas, at least.
That sounds unhealthy.
I need driving directions, not walking directions.
The players are drafting right now, if you're wondering what's going on. You're not in the Discord person.
Yeah, actually, I take that back. I did go to Las Vegas once. I was only in the airport because I was a layover to Houston. There were, I think I did the math on how many slot machines there were approximately, and the answer is a lot.
Don't go to, well, one, slot machines suck in the first place if you're going to gamble, but two, the slot machines at the Vegas airport have lower payouts versus.
Well, slot machines are actually the best way to gamble because they're the most predictable.
Yeah, and if you can find ones that have 99% payouts, which is rare.
So there's a pattern with them, and all of them have a pattern that if you observe for long enough, you can figure out the pattern and figure out exactly when they're going to, it's going to pay.
You sound like a lot of the gambling addicts I know.
I have never gambled in my entire life, but I'm saying mathematically speaking, that is the most consistent. It is completely pattern based. There's no no luck involved in it at all, and you can just watch. And once it's
for those curious, I googled the. Oh, it looks like you're.
Yeah, yes, for those you pull curious, it a couple times and jackpot.
I did Google. The nearest casino to me is in New York City, a 6-hour and 30-minute drive away.
What's the problem?
So okay, well, I can't get across the border
plus customs
right now, Tyler. Well, yeah. So New York City, 6 hours and 35-minute drive away. Or I could go to New Haven, Connecticut for an extra 10-minute drive.
Get it? It's literally south of the border.
Funny.
Or I could go to Cleveland, but Cleveland's a little further.
Cool.
And I guess I don't want to go to Cleveland by the sound of that.
Cody, wouldn't you say that blackjack is the most predictable then?
No, because there is an element of, well, there's an element of randomness in the shuffle of the cards. There's no randomness.
Yeah, but you can play blackjacks where they have like a one-deck shoe. They just usually pay out 65 for blackjack.
Don't people normally need 2 shoes?
Or actually, a lot of them are 2 shoes now. But
either way, they're not with blackjack. They're not going to use a pre-sorted deck with the same exact sort every time. They're not going to open a deck, not shuffle it. There is the element of randomness in the shuffle with blackjack.
Yeah.
There's no randomness, truly no randomness in slot machines. Everything is 100% predictable if you know the pattern.
Well, like I said, you let me know which ones are going to hit. I'll go and gamble them, and we'll split the earnings.
In theory, all of them will hit. It's just when you go to them that matters. So you want when it's close to the jackpot.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'll just play all of them.
Okay, that's where you lose money.
That's the answer.
Because you spend more money than you get out of the jackpot.
Well, depends.
Which is how they make money.
Depends if you have one person playing the same one over and over and over.
You'll over and over and over lose money. Slowly you'll be losing money. You'll lose a lot of money.
For every $100, you'll lose
enough after
you'll make like 90.
Enough after the jackpot.
You could stop after the jackpot, but you're still most likely losing money depending on the payout. It really depends. I guess if it's the 99% payout, I guess that is the case most of the time, but I also don't think that most are, especially not in the airport.
The airport ones are definitely the worst. I remember my grandmother told me that one.
Airports are usually, I think, like 82 to 88%.
Yeah. Well, I don't know exactly, but I do know my grandma wants to take me to Las Vegas sometime.
There you go. Please go. Las Vegas. Las Vegas isn't bad.
You're gonna go and be like, if this one does not have the right chi-squared value for me, I'm going to have to.
They're gonna look at your profile and they're gonna escort you out. That's what's gonna happen.
It's pronounced chi-squared, and that's not applicable to this. That's for hypothesis testing.
Also, Tegan, Caltran has offered to smuggle you across the border for the right price.
I think I may have to take you up on that, depending on how good these are.
Caltran, what are you gonna do? Smuggle her to Oklahoma or wherever you're living currently?
Kansas, I'm gonna get there.
Kansas, yeah, thank you.
I also can't leave. I'm not supposed to leave Ontario. That's currently they don't want you crossing states.
Provinces?
They can refuse to yeah, that. But you guys don't know what provinces are.
They took our ins.
You know what provinces
okay, well,
are.
you might.
It is weird to hear you call your district championship provincials, though. I will.
Well, for here, it's weird when anyone ever says states.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, because you have more than one state. Well, okay, imagine like nationals. When they call
World, yeah,
national,
I don't
it's the
like
worst thing ever. Oh,
Okay,
it's so
but
bad.
unless you're
Seems like
my age,
exaggerating.
there's no reason to call it nationals. Like when you're my age, they did legit still call it nationals, but like anything after like 2004, I don't, or 2003, 2004,
Yeah.
2005, they didn't call it that.
Yeah, like, okay, there have
I
been
think 02
Canadian
was last
teams
year.
since 1998. Like, come on.
Wow,
I think
Canada.
maybe even since before that. There was one in there was one out in one of the other provinces that did die. I don't remember where I heard that, but I did remember hearing there was like another one that was around the 188 era.
By the
that
way,
died off.
just talk about SRC real quick. If you are watching in chat and for some reason you're not playing, please come play. We'd love to have you join along. I know we don't want to keep doing just color commentary the whole time, or this is color, but we don't want to just do match commentary the whole time. As I think that will get a little old after a while. But we'd love to have you play and be on stream. So make sure you come check it out. Even if it's your first time, we'd love to have you join us and try playing and see how it goes. And don't worry, one day I'll play. I know people keep asking me. So we'll see.
I would love to see
yeah.
that, Tyler.
I would love
Warning.
to see that too.
Warning for you, Tyler. It's hard. It's
I need to get that red circle thing or whatever you guys cheat
He's
with.
got a what's it called? A score,
Computer.
high score. He has a score submitted.
Oh, what is it?
I played for the first time since like March, and I think I was in the mid 200s.
That's actually not bad. Was it, I assume it was post the big update?
I don't know. It's whenever I played.
Yeah. There was a big update that increased like scores by like 70, like overnight.
Why?
Just general improvements to the accuracy and the collector jamming a lot less.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. I don't know. Time is a blur now.
Honestly, time is a blur. I woke up today. I'm like, oh shoot, I have to work today. It's a Monday now.
It's a U.S. holiday. It's a U.S. holiday today.
Yeah.
We had the long weekend last weekend, so because we had Victoria Day.
Ooh.
Now you guys have
It's where you
Memorial
bow,
Day. I
it's
don't know
where
what
you bow down to
Memorial-
your motherland, right?
Yeah. Hey, it was a lot easier to become a country when we just said, "Hey, can we be a country instead of going to war?" But you know.
Well, that was later on. I think we won the race by 100 years or so. So.
That's true. You did become a country first. I think we were 1869. It's the year we became a country.
Yeah.
And then even so, it's like, okay, we're a Commonwealth country, which is good. We
Do
love Queen
either of you know the other country to beat the UK in a war for independence?
India?
The other country.
It is not India. That was not.
You mean like through a war? You're actually saying?
Yes.
I feel like it's an African country, isn't it?
It is not an African
Oh.
country. It is Belize.
Huh? Weird.
Yeah.
What do you know?
And I think it was 1984, but I don't know if that's correct. That's just a number that comes to the top of my head. So I don't know if that's
84, I
right.
think it was the Falklands War.
81. 81 was when
Independence, 81. Self-governance from the UK came in January 1964. Independence was 81.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. It became a British colony in 1840. And so was a country, has been a country for a while, but they're still a Commonwealth country.
Yeah.
Queen. Which is good. We love the Queen.
Wait,
Queen
Canada's
Elizabeth.
still a Commonwealth?
What?
Yeah, we still have Queen Elizabeth. Yeah,
Oh,
Canada's
I
still
thought you ditched her.
No, Queen Elizabeth's on the money.
Yeah,
That
Queen
and, like,
Elizabeth's
ducks.
second. Yeah, okay. Yeah, on the face of the loony is a loon,
The loony.
and then back is Queen
The
Elizabeth II.
Ah,
And she's also
There's
a
this thing
$20
called
bill.
toonie, which is worth
Yes,
2
there is.
loonies.
Yes, the toonie
I
is worth
learned that
$2.
Yep.
It's got a polar
learned
bear
that.
on it.
Neat. I learned that
Yeah.
from my time
Toonie
in
has-
Canada the first time.
And then Queen Elizabeth on the back of all of our coins. And then we've got our quarters, which are, our quarters have a caribou, the dimes have a sailboat, the nickels have a beaver, and the pennies used to have maple leafs, but they're out of commission now. We don't use pennies anymore.
Smart.
Yeah,
fun
the
fact.
government realized that it took more money to make a penny than the penny was
So
worth.
what do? You just round up to the nearest 5 cents?
If you're paying with cash, yeah. Round up or down, depending.
So in the olden days, here in the U.S., they used to have a half-cent coin or a half penny.
A hay penny.
Yes, we have those too.
Yeah, hay penny. Anyway, they got discontinued because everyone's like, those are useless. And those were about as much as a dime is now. So we could discontinue the penny, nickel, and dime and be fine.
I'd be fine with that. I'd just go to the quarter.
I mean, I think we could discontinue the quarter and be fine too, but...
There's also the 50-cent coin, which we don't use either. Like, there's
right, we do have that. Yeah.
There's like a few of them around,
I mean,
but no one actually...
technically, we have those in the U.S. too. But...
Yep, JFK's on them. Very, very large coins.
Canadian money is funny. If you scratch it, it smells like maple syrup. That's what Caltrans.
It's not true. It's an urban legend. That's an urban legend, Caltrans.
I like Australian money. You can't rip it.
I think it's just because the entire nation of Canada smells like maple syrup, and it's just that's when you're usually gonna run into Canada.
I mean, that sounds amazing. So, I love maple syrup.
Well,
yeah, maple syrup, very good.
And the biggest thing is you gotta get like actual maple syrup. Like, you have to get the stuff that's in the glass bottles. You can't get like the. Actually, that's not true. Actually, not all of it's in glass bottles.
Like the Aunt Jemima's. So.
Yeah, no, don't get Aunt Jemima's.
Not. Do restaurants? Because restaurants here pretty much never serve real maple syrup.
No, you have to pay extra for that.
Low quality ones will. Like,
at least
McDonald's
in Oregon,
not maple syrup. But like, if you go to like an upper, like a creperie or a Sugar Shack, like those will have real maple.
Sugar Shack.
Sounds real up class.
They're a real thing, and you can just get like maple syrup on sticks there. It's probably the most Canadian thing ever.
Alrighty.
I was watching the streamer the other day do maple syrup shots for charity. Oh, that sounds sweet as all heck.
That sounds like you would get a sugar coma from that.
What's the there's another thing too that they sell in Quebec that's it's like equivalent to a Nutella or a peanut butter but maple. Today
I'd just like to point out to everybody that every time you eat Nutella, you have to thank the state of Oregon for producing greater than 99% of the U.S.'s hazelnut supply.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the beaver extract from the butt, which has the fake vanilla in it.
Okay, that's part of the blue raspberry flavor.
The vanillin
in it as well.
If you want to talk about beavers, let me tell you about cooking beaver.
Oh my goodness, no, Tegan.
This is like an improv show, by the way. We just keep going from one thing to the next.
Yeah. I hope people...
episode of Texas Man, where Texas Man cooked a beaver tail for his introduction with Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
That was good beaver.
Tegan and I have been binging MasterChef with a couple buddies.
Oh, nice.
Lately. And we found that particular part of that episode quite entertaining. He definitely had a demeanor to him.
He was like, I cook roadkill, and like, I'm eating this beaver tail for you, Gordon Ramsay. And he had bug eyes. It was hilarious.
Can you imagine doing that for Gordon Ramsay? Like, you have Gordon Ramsay show up and you make him a beaver tail.
I mean, he liked it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it through.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some craziness.
Yeah, we have yet to start MasterChef Canada, so soon we'll see that a lot more. We don't actually eat a lot of beaver here, though.
We're currently on season 5.
Sorry.
No spoilers.
I was going to load up a second version of SRC and I forgot that it's going to load up in the same. We'll wait till the match is over. My
Welcome to Roadkill Cat. We grill it. Oh, jeez. That's so bad.
That's actually from something. What is it from, Caltran? I've definitely heard that before. Oh, is that from Spaceballs?
Spaceballs. Sean really wanted us. That was Sean that wanted us to watch that, right, Tegan?
Yes.
Yeah.
That does sound familiar.
Spaceballs. And then unfortunately.
What this maple syrup thing is called. I'm gonna mute myself and call my mom and ask.
Alrighty.
Goodbye.
I assume Twitch doesn't want to hang out with my mom, but
Who
I'll
wouldn't
fill
want
you
to
in
hang out with
on
your mom, Pagan?
With the
fair.
current high quality content we've been providing right now, that sounds
True.
alright.
Oh, all right.
You said yes.
I'm gonna try to get in the
Mom
queue about it. It's only rained twice. Give her a break.
Oh.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Dad. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm on stream now, chilling with a couple friends, and we have a very important question for
Oh boy.
Okay. For mom?
well everyone. I forget. What's the maple syrup that we got when we used to go to the track in Quebec that wasn't maple syrup, but it was like sticky and syrupy? What was that called?
The maple syrup in a can?
Yeah, but it wasn't maple syrup. No,
okay.
yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
maple butter.
Maple butter. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we
Was it
have that here.
Oh, it definitely had a different name.
I'm looking to see if I can find any left. The maple butter, Tegan's calling. Asking what it was called. Maple butter.
Okay, I thought it was like something French, but that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
It would have a French name to it as well.
Well,
but
yeah, but okay.
Hang on, Mom's looking to see if we still have any.
We bought it in lots of quantities.
We bought it in bulk at the time.
How long
This
did
is
it
a
last
very
for?
So you're streaming? Oh, we
Yes,
have one still.
we're streaming. Yes.
She'll take it. I'll take a picture and send it to you in a second.
Thank you.
What's it called? It is called Maple Spread.
Maple spread. That was it. Okay, cool.
Maple spread?
Awesome. Maple spread.
Maple
Awesome.
spread.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. Love you. Talk later. Bye. Maple spread.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on,
I
I
mean-
got it. Let's take a look here.
It's like in an orange jug. Yeah, but just like, yeah, like that. I think.
Maple spread.
Yes, that's it.
It's,
We used to buy like 7 or 8 of them when we went to
Wow.
go back, and they'd last like 2 months at the time. They were so good. It was so sugary. But I guess we still have them around.
composed sugar spread, or
Yeah.
something in
You
French
put
that
it
I
on
can't
like
pronounce.
toast or something.
As Tegan has definitely witnessed firsthand, I am not particularly good at pronouncing French words.
Yes, it's fair. Yeah, so you can buy that in like grocery stores in Quebec in bulk. So that was a big thing whenever I'd go up to Tremblant to go racing. We go grab a bunch.
And here, well, at least from what I do, is I take maple syrup, and I take butter, and I mix them together.
Well, that would be maple butter, which I could
Yeah.
definitely make. Although I have butter, I could make. I can't believe it's not butter maple butter. I've got that.
That, I'm gonna pass on that one.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to join into a 6-man. We'll see, because I have to do it through. I have to do it well, but I have to do it through a second account. So, is it gonna always link to that account?
No.
What?
It's just
Oh, like in Discord?
Yeah, because I have to keep this one up.
I believe with the way that it's done, you can make it so that they both go to the same one. Worst case scenario, it can be done manually.
Or I can perform so poorly that I'll want it to be in that one. So
Yeah, that's another option.
It does link to the account, so even if you change your name or whatever, it's perma-linked to whatever
perfect.
account
We'll call this
queue up with.
exhibition. So
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
all right, where's the link to the Discord?
fantastic. We're gonna commentate specifically from your point of view.
Oh my god.
No one else
Well,
will feel about
I
it.
wasn't gonna stream my point of view, but I can.
Oh, don't worry. We will commentate purely on your point of view for you.
Excellent. You can
Don't
see
worry.
all the shots that I miss. I'm not gonna be able to communicate with my team though. So. Hopefully they
You
don't mind.
go in there on your other channel.
Yeah, that's
or your
true.
other Discord. Tyler 2.
I don't know which one do I. Oh, I'm logged into fun testing right now.
Ah, yes. Fun testing. The best Discord account.
See if I can join up in this. A little nervous, guys. You know, I'm gonna be on the spot to perform here. So
Just remember, important thing is to not get fouled out. Twitch, we want to hear you hype up Tyler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody.
We want in chat.
Can we get a hype train for Tyler Old 6-mans, please?
For the fake account I'm gonna join.
Use those fun bucks that you have a few thousand of.
I do have several.
What is the link to this Discord? Where is it located?
In here, I can
the
get a
invite
link
thing doesn't work for me
because
because I'm in streamer mode, so it.
Oh, I can do it. I can do it. Invite people.
Yeah,
Copy link.
types in chat. Woo!
Message. That should work.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh, the invites will join you into the voice channel, so.
That's all right.
We got lots of hype emotes. Richard did put a invite link in chat as well.
Oh, awesome. Oh yeah, I could have just done the. I didn't even think about that. I could have done the.
Yeah, it's all good. All right, I'm out of fun bucks. Don't worry, we will.
Appreciate your sacrifice.
How can you be out of fun bucks?
He redeemed several hypes.
Oh. All right, now I gotta. I guess I.
Hype emote, and I got 20 fun bucks back.
Oh, nice.
I have to read the rules here.
Yeah, good idea.
Rules are good.
Type the phrase
Posted by
found in
yours
rules to
truly.
join the server. Yeah, I gotta keep going back and forth here. Where's the?
Yeah, I'm at 14,670 fun bucks right now.
Jesus Christ.
So.
Yeah, I got it. I can take it.
No problem. It should be noted, for those curious, the Mapo spread has no expiry date. It will never expire.
That is not what no expiry date means.
Definitely is.
Now I gotta get the roll so I can get in the league here.
Oh.
Or I guess I could probably just add it.
Yeah, probably. Where is she? God. I've been up for quite a while. Woke up at 5:30.
Here, I will give you.
So.
There you go, Tyler. Gave it to you. Or Euro.
Yep, I got it.
No problem.
All right.
Expiry date eating. It's literally just maple syrup and sugar. It's fine.
Isn't maple syrup just maple syrup and sugar?
It's like compost sugar spread. It's still like got this little lid on it. It's fine. There's 800 grams in a can.
800 grams of maple spread?
800 grams of maple spread.
Alright.
What, like, units is equivalent to grams?
It is. I think a gram, I believe, is 29 ounces or so. So
it is.
do the math.
800 grams is 1 3/4 pounds. So 1.75 pounds of maple spread.
All right, so let's see. I gotta go. Do I have to be in rank general? Do I have to keep my voice in there so I can join the other one? Is that how it works?
You don't need to per se, but it's probably helpful.
Okay, I'll do that for now. And then let's see. I gotta join up. I need to go to 6
that's
minutes.
not depressing at all.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can hear people even though I'm.
Don't need to say
even though I'm
that
deafened.
series.
Weird.
I lost the series.
Huh.
Okay, we'll
Well,
disconnect
as
from
Richard
that for now.
said, 1 gram is 0.035274 ounces, which I don't know, could be about a 29th. That seems about right.
So how does this work once I get in queue? Do I get a private message or something, or do I just join it?
No, you joined it. You are in the queue.
No, I
you are
meant
the
for
fourth.
like the game.
Oh, it'll ping you and tell you.
Oh, okay.
It will? Oh. Yeah, it shows how much I've been playing lately.
And then I know.
Oh, and then we got 5 out of 6. We need a 6th person, and then we can
See what happens.
start match.
I'm a little nervous here, guys. We'll see. I don't even know if I had no clue if my controller's even mapped or plugged in right now.
What controller is it?
I have a 1. Xbox One controller.
Xbox One. Okay, that one should work all right.
Yeah, I know. Like I played with it before. I'm just saying, like I haven't gone into a match recently to try it. So.
Yeah, that one's mapped fine by default. PlayStation 4 one's not so much. Just the one I use. You have to do some fancy stuff with it. But
So wait, do I have to type start match?
No, someone will get that for you. There you go.
Okay.
So, Nayela and Richard are your captains. So they're gonna pick their teams. It'll let you know who you get assigned to.
But I don't join the server yet, right?
No, not yet.
Right.
Once you get the role,
Oh man, I've been picked. I'm on blue.
You've been picked. You're on blue. Okay. Congratulations. So we're gonna move your alt goes into the blue.
All right,
Perfect.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys so I only come through. Oh wait, you guys want to hear? You guys want to hear what I'm talking about? Oh no, you won't. All right, I'm gonna deafen. Wait though, if I deafen, then it doesn't come through stream. Never mind. I'll mute here though.
yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, Tyler's
We believe
Oh
in
man, I'm so
his own
nervous.
personal channel.
Yeah.
He can hear us, I believe. So, what
Correct.
we could do is
could cheer him
confuse
on.
them by saying you should do this.
So wait, so am I any blue?
Okay, Tegan and I have different,
Or am I certain?
different
All
alignments.
play left and
Well,
play some defense.
Keep getting those
And
type
you get
emotes
center.
in chat. Tyler's gonna
Alright, so I'm
get
gonna be left?
logged into the server here.
No, I'm being left.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's preview this match.
I have to hear, by the way, the
Labib,
commentators in my
please
ear
leave the
and you
server.
guys, so we'll see what I do. Or see how well I can
Well,
actually
I have
hear.
the stream
So we're
on
gonna
too,
have
so
Yeah.
I'm hearing
Sean
the
and
commentators
Richard
too,
on
just
red
like 5 seconds
versus
behind.
Tyler,
Nice. All right, I'm
Max,
gonna
and
be
Nayela
center, okay?
on blue.
Or is there already center? Do I
Definitely
have to
gonna
be
see
Which one should I
this
be?
one.
Be
A
right.
lot of
Right.
newer
No,
players. We
Oh,
got some
right, sorry,
experience in
taken.
Javon and Richard.
Yeah, right. You take center.
Nayela quickly getting that
Oh, yeah,
experience
then you
up as
center.
well. So we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get all these
I
See
controls
how
Sure.
right.
Tyler feels.
Definitely a more experienced.
Okay, I need to mute
but,
the stream. This is
We'll see if
This is
Blue
bad.
Alliance is able to pull
Okay.
off the upset. Tyler doing some practicing, lining up those shots,
I don't remember what the fire
strafing
is.
a little
There
bit
we
to the
go.
side.
All right.
Those are going in. Tyler knows how to shoot balls, apparently.
This is pre-match, I think. Is
Yeah,
it?
we're
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
pre-match right
know.
now.
Look at their gameplay. This better be pre-match.
Yeah, they're
Okay,
memeing.
let's
Memeing. Lots of
ready up
memeing going
if
on.
You guys are ready.
I'm ready.
Dank memery, indeed.
I think I need.
Yeah.
All right, yeah,
Beautiful
whatever.
balls.
I'll be good. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I have to ready up, I suppose. Huh?
Sounds like you have a train in
I
the
guess.
background.
There you go.
Just
Optional.
chugging away.
Because I do have a train in my background. It's actually a person. All right, so we are on our way. Tyler going for the balls that are lined up. Misses a few, but has some in his intake. We'll fire those off in autonomous
Alrighty.
mode. Go Tyler. Is going to pick up some more with 215. Autonomous mode is over. Blue Alliance
126
is at a
auto.
deficit, so we have to
We got
come
this,
back
no
from
worries.
that. Tyler going for the human player shield.
Here, I got
Picks up a
defense.
lot of those
No, I
power
got
cells,
defense. I'm on left.
making
Oh, dude,
contact
he just
under the trench.
he just got
with
me stuck
Richard,
under the
but
trench.
Richard will back off. Tyler
no.
stuck under the
Restart your
trench.
position.
How do I restart?
He would have to reset himself.
Put your
Don't
It's
reset the
server
field,
option
but you may
now.
want to reset yourself if you're going to try and get out
Restart
from under the
yeah.
trench. You are not going to be able to
Alright,
shoot
I
from
got
there.
it.
There he goes. Landing on top of his alliance partner.
Well, that was
Let's
rude.
go back, pick up those power cells.
First time
That contact
playing.
from Richard really hurting the Blue Alliance.
Horse's
As
head
Red is
person
currently
just
up
comes
by
in and
90
does
points.
that, I tell you.
Richard here to play some
Yeah.
defense on Nayela. Tyler lining up the shots. They do go in for 2 points each. Tyler will now relocate himself. Richard, big hit on Tyler. Tyler now going to go back under the trench, making his way smoothly. 191 to 106 right now is your score. So Red Alliance with the advantage. Waiting. Sounds like there's an error with Windows
What?
for
My
one of our
God.
Alliance members.
Just score
Nayela
while
now
he's
straight
Go,
down
Tyler.
that guardrail. It looks like Richard
I'm
getting
stuck.
pushed
Ah.
around by Nayela, but Nayela is
I'm taking a
inside
cycle.
Richard's bumper.
Yes,
Richard going
please.
for the grab, and Nayela
I'm
will flip
restarting.
on top of Tyler. Tragedy
Restarting
striking here
to
for that
you.
Blue Alliance. They are now down by 110 points. With 50 seconds left in the match, they will have to come back from this quickly. Max 2370, putting in a
This
big
is a
cycle
mess.
for
It's
his
carry
alliance
time.
there. Red Alliance, though, has
It's
this
a
one
bunch of
pretty much
multi-count.
locked
Yeah.
in. So, Blue Alliance trying to save their elo, want to make it as close as possible. Richard gonna go pushing around Nyella a little bit. Gonna see if Nyella can get the tech file out on Richard, but is unable to do so. Tyler now lined up, gonna put away those power cells. That looks like 3 blue robots ready on the offense. Richard deep in enemy territory, but will get out just fine. With 20 seconds left, we're gonna see people start to get
Am I climbing in the middle or no?
With 17 seconds left, Tyler
last
again
person to
going
shoot
for the power
climbs in the
cells.
middle.
Javon putting up a volley for that Red Alliance. They have now crossed the 300 points. There's big contact in the rendezvous zone between teammates. Tyler going for a few shots last second. That one misses. He'll see if he can climb with 2 seconds left. It's going to be the last ditch effort for Blue Alliance. They are unable to take this one home though. 390.
I'm taking cycles.
A big win for Red, going up 1 in the series.
Which side are you on?
What you saw on the field.
On right.
Do you want to switch?
I saw stuff happening.
Okay,
while
yeah.
I was
You get
telling
pinned,
my
you don't
dad
spawn
my
top of us.
Philadelphia's
Yeah.
order.
Yeah, give me just a second.
I'm sorry.
That's fair. You can look. Okay, look at the stream and tell me what you think happened.
I think Red Alliance won, and I saw a couple times Blue Alliance had to respawn a couple times. My guess is Richard played some defense. Could have been Javon, but I'm just probably Richard keeping the Blue Alliance to score low.
Wait, we're on blue.
I'm going to say Tyler struggled a little bit considering he hasn't played much or if any online play. Max probably, Max scored some points.
Even though we lost by a lot.
Nyella scored a decent amount of points, but it does look like the Red Alliance, Jake and Javon, scored a lot of points. They were able to single-handedly score more points than the Blue Alliance, those two. And Richard.
Are we waiting for anything, or does everybody just have select ready?
We just need to ready up.
As well.
And
there you have it. That is
I think happened.
match.
That would happen, Tegan?
But we were also waiting for.
That's basically what happened.
Resubmitted.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're just waiting.
Nyella did get caught. The grabbing, we did see a successful attempt of that by Richard too. So we'll see if we get more of that. But as the robots are on their way, Tyler getting more of those power cells this time in autonomous. That'll help out the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance taking the early lead here in auto, but Red's going to put up a ton of power cells. Blue will not be able to respond to that. 70-50 score coming out of autonomous. Tyler putting up a few final shots. Richard now back in the defensive zone.
Anybody in 6-man's actually moves correctly.
9 points, but Red is not going to let that stay for too long as we see Javon crossing the field and putting up a set of power cells. Nyella will play a little bit of defense to contest it, but the big defender that we saw in that last match was Richard, putting up some big hits, even grabbing Nyella and dragging her across the field. So we'll see if Richard is able to do that again. Looks like right now, Tyler getting caught out by Richard on the opposite side of the field, unable to get it away. That will be a technical foul. 15 points assigned to the Red Alliance.
He is.
So Tyler, having learned, sometimes it's not so safe to try and steal those power cells. Richard will quickly come after you. Tyler now instead going for the human loading zone. Javon putting up a set of power cells as well for Red. So Red trying to extend their lead right now, 126-94. So a closer match than we saw last time. Richard getting pinned out by Max. Richard, normally a very solid defender.
We're actually catching up.
This time just getting caught out a little bit, but not dismayed. He will go back to the defense right away. Has grabbed Nyella. Nyella unable to do anything about it. Will respawn. Richard doing a bit of retaliation as Red has briefly taken the lead, 162 to 161. Red will quickly respond with a full set of power cells coming in from Javon. That's a big volley, a full intake to say the least. Richard very deep in enemy territory in the Blue Alliance trench. Looks like he may be stuck, but is able to break away from Max 2370. That pin circle will respawn.
Okay, 30 to go.
Looks like Nyella now getting trapped again by Richard, but on their own side of the field. So it's most of a time waster. Richard actually making the decision to go for the defense, techs himself out. So a big mistake from the Red Alliance is keeping the Blue Alliance much more in this one this time. Tyler going on to play some defense this time. Richard and Max yet again going back and forth on it. 244 to 214. Red Alliance going in for the climbs with 5 seconds left. Blue Alliance will not respond. Tyler will line up facing the wrong direction. That one was a lot closer this time by, but it is going to still go to that Red Alliance. 289 to 255 in what
you want to line up with your intake out.
First in the series. We saw Tyler getting into that zone. Richard making some critical mistakes, but it was not enough to swing the odds in Blue's favor. They are talking about some perhaps controversial calls after the match with respect to the end game. We'll see if that changes the outcome of the match.
Are we done?
Well, for 6-man,
I don't think so.
Scores.
If they assess climb B for 45, then we just won that match.
Then sure.
Yeah, that's basically how this goes. That's basically how this goes.
Yeah, in a normal competition, either Tegan and I would be repping. And
wow.
We would be
just won that
coming up with.
We end up winning?
Yeah, we just won a match.
Nice. Or whatever should be for the match, but
let's take this series.
As you can tell probably by our excellent commentary, is relatively chill. And,
oh god, I need to run another right auto.
Goodness.
What happened?
Hobby, I'm going to stop you right there. This match is going to a third this series. They elected to give the free climb to the Blue Alliance, so plus 45 points actually gives Blue the win. That's Tyler, Nyella, and Max taking it to a third.
Free climb. That's
ready up.
Climb.
And balance and tech, right?
I'm ready up.
They definitely should not be what called. So tech foul. All right.
Tech foul. I don't know.
A tech foul should not have been called for that. A tech foul should only be called.
All right, everybody ready up before they realize what happened.
If contact is completely, if the robot committing the penalty is in the opponent's rendezvous zone. Otherwise, it should be no tech foul, just to climb the balance.
We're starting.
Too late.
Maybe that's what happened. Who's to say?
It's me, because that's not what happened, because I was watching.
Well, either way, the match is underway. They took it to a third. That's why we're the refs. They're not. So they are playing this match. Tyler and Max putting up a set of shots. Welcome, Brennan, to our commentary box. We see the end of the contest. Yes, go ahead.
Richard contacted, I forget who, Javon, or one of the Blue Robots fully inside their zone.
When you're picking up from the station, I'm gonna
watch the replay because I did not see that.
Yeah, they also got teched out during that time, so it's really ripped because they were kind of stuck.
And not drag you. Okay, nothing I could do there.
All right,
jeez,
time to look at the replay.
It's fixed.
Yeah, it's like right at 30 seconds.
Oh, how?
Okay.
Dang. Also, thank you to us, the people, subbing with Twitch Prime for 6 consecutive months. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Thanks for tuning in with us today. As we see, Hobby's going to take a look at the replay.
All right. I watched that. I do not believe Richard was fully within.
Perfect. I got counter.
The blue rendezvous zone.
Well,
if I were reffing this, which
get out.
I would not have awarded a penalty for that because it appeared that his bumper was always at least at one point.
Well, we're gonna get my shots. It's fine. I try to get all my shots off before Richard.
This is why we are the
refs. Oh, I might be able to pin him though.
Richard might checked out here, but is able to get away. Nyella having some difficulties, having a 0-point contribution in this match. Just kind of hanging in there for the Blue Alliance.
Yep, some defense, I'm guessing. Oh, nope, just kind of chilling. Guess someone's having
just pick up those ones around there.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Please.
Max dealing with Javon's defense for a little bit. This one, again, very decided. 265 to 160, a 2v3. Blue Alliance on the back foot. So with 18 seconds left, I really can't come back from that.
Sorry, go climb.
But Nyella having some computer issues, just focusing on the lineup.
Just go climb.
With 9 seconds left.
Try to climb close, please.
We do see Tyler sliding in for the climb. Facing out properly. Nicely done. But with no seconds on the clock.
Nah, I don't think it counted me.
Nyella not getting up for the climb.
It's a rip.
330.
Oh, technically, I think our ELO's
that one does go pretty solidly to that Red Alliance, but congratulations to Tyler for taking home a match!
Now that you've gotten my ref instincts, and I would say that Blue Alliance Nyella should be rewarded a free climb and balance for that match. Just saying.
Just saying. Not that it would change the outcome of the match.
It would not.
a lot would not change that match. Yeah, Tyler, how'd you feel?
Violated by Richard.
Yeah. Hope you had fun.
That's a common reaction. We hear a lot of people dealing with Richard's defense.
Yeah, he's.
Here, I thought like they're like, oh, okay, Tyler's first game, he's gonna play. I'll be nice to him. Nope, immediately horse his head right up my rear end. So.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your 6-mans. We do already.
I mean, technically, I guess we won one match, so I'll take it.
Good job.
Controversially, but that's okay. So I lost 1.5 elo, and I did horrible. I did horrible at climbing, and apparently you're supposed to climb one way versus the other. I've learned that now.
Yes.
You want your intake facing out, so you have less contact with the person climbing in the middle. That's generally the agreed upon strategy, and probably the better.
What happened to Nye in that match?
Bumped. Endgame got bumped while touching the.
No, well, he had 5 points. He wasn't moving most of the time.
Oh, computer? I don't know the computer issues were.
Lame. It is very hard, by the way. I will admit, it is very hard to have you guys in my ear and then trying to listen to my teammates.
Yeah, I imagine that not being. Like,
so Nyala's controller was having some issues.
Oh,
that match.
mean that then truly that didn't count. I will be back. I'll play some more 6-mans with my real account. So, by the way, nobody else create alt accounts. That's bad.
Yep, that is against the rules.
I had official authorization to do so.
Yes, we will be merging this elo with your other elo.
That
you do not get any
yet.
Yeah, eventually.
All right, so what'd you say? What horrible play did I make?
Oh, you climbed the wrong way for the first 2 matches. That was a big red flag. Your first auto was comedic. Your second 2 were better. You want to try to not miss balls.
Not what?
If you want to score them, miss the balls.
Yeah. Oh,
you want to get the full line of
intake.
And to score them, you need to physically have them in your intake. If you want to score them.
Sure.
So you need to not type away.
I will say, okay, so this goes back to our debate we had before, by the way, in regards to the feeling of this versus the feeling of behind the glass in real life. And since this was my first time playing in a competitive environment ever, it felt very similar, I will say. Like, there was times where I was able to kind of take myself out of the zone and look at the time and look at the score and that sort of thing like that. And I think that's just because I'm a little bit older now. But I will say, like, the feelings felt very reminiscent of being behind the glass.
All right, good to know. Maybe it's just me not.
Encounter.
I guess that might just be me not being very focused when I'm driving. There's a reason I was never a driver on my team. I didn't really want to drive in any actual matches. But you know. I guess for you, if it seems similar, then I guess it seems similar.
Well, I mean, and I don't know, like, you know, I know Brennan said he was a driver, but like at some point, like, man, like for me, this was a very long time ago, right? But like driving, like, I just remember that being just one of the coolest things in the world. Like, just to me, it was like one of the most, like, and I understand it's not for everybody that way, but like, man, like being able to be down there and be able to like represent your team in that way was just such a cool feeling. Even if you didn't do well, like I mean, I haven't. We did okay. Like we were in playoffs and every time, and we didn't win anything. But like, you know, even that, it just felt like it was just a cool experience.
Yeah, my role on the team was scouting and strategy, so I went down.
And I have mad respect for that, but
yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would have done super great under immediate pressure. That's not really my thing. But you know.
So Brennan hasn't driven a robot in a competition setting since 2014, and he's been our coach since 2018 with one event in 2017. So it's been kind of recent. Last time I did one off-season event. That was fun. But last time I was behind the glass when I got hit in the face by a ball from 254 at 2014 Waterloo. So it's been a while for me as well.
And by the way, GG is in Twitch chat as well too. So, and Richard, don't worry about it. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Welcome to the call. Welcome to the chatting corner, Brennan.
Hello. I've finally resolved the submitting issue. It is working as intended now, and we're cruising along properly.
I mean, I feel like I should have lost only 4 points instead of 7, but
yeah.
Copy back to the drawing board with the statistical tuning apparently here.
Oh, oh my, no, thank you.
It's okay. So for those who are hanging out with us today, we are looking at doing this with the Vex game as well, 4-mans. So we're doing. Cobby's getting to spend his time doing a full new statistical set of calculations for that.
I am very excited.
It is actually live, so anybody who is wanting to play the Vex game, there's a ranked leaderboard. The leaderboard isn't quite working yet, but the tracking is. The tracking is. So if you guys are interested in that too, that is also live here in this Discord.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with Google Sheets before it becomes an absolute monstrosity to work with.
Yeah.
I believe there are 98 VLOOKUP statements in that one cell, so it's a mess.
That sounds about right.
I too like to have 98 VLOOKUP cells.
Yeah, it's not fun. I do not like that Google Sheet. Just the mess. I wish I could come up with a better way to do it. I wish I could. I just haven't been able to.
Well, let me write you a program using R.
That's
R
not what R is for, Tegan.
R. I've been learning R. It hurts me.
Yeah, you've been playing R Studio for the past few days.
I don't know how to get to stop telling me I'm playing R Studio.
I mean,
yes.
you probably close R Studio. That probably do.
R Studio is not open.
Well, it doesn't say that right now. It just has been.
Yeah, I've been learning R Studio, in which the worst programming language ever, because you have to run your code line by line.
Okay, that's
to get to play or whatever.
That's not an R code thing necessarily.
That is an R code thing.
I think you can. I think it's because of the text or the editor.
No, I'm using R Studio.
Right. I think you need. I think it's just that's the default for R editors.
Well, it's bad.
I don't think that's gross. All right.
It's bad and gross.
It's
Speaking about SRC, one of the interesting things here is, well, Codster, currently going as Coaster, is almost in our top 12 for the All-Star event this weekend. So he's trying to grind up. He's actually less than 100 MMR away, which is about 50 elo-ish away. So a few more matches and he could be in that lucrative top 12 positions to play in our All-Star event this weekend.
So Tyler,
looks like he's getting the win there.
I forgot about the format for that. Would you mind filling us in on how that is going to be played?
Yeah, so basically we're taking the top 2 players, well, top 12 players, and then the top 2 players are going to be captains of like 2 different teams basically, and then those 2 players are going to pick their alliance of 6 people, and then those 6 people are going to be broken down into different game modes. We're going to have some fun game modes. We're probably going to play some 6v0 matches. For those of you who don't know, that's just all of the robots scoring on one goal and seeing how many you can score. So that's going to be fun. So like the 12 best scorers trying to battle it out. We're also doing a 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 crew style battle. So the captains are going to choose to submit like a roster for the 1v1 portion, and then if they play in the 1v1, they can't play in the 2v2 or 3v3, and then so they're going to kind of like battle it out and see which alliance can get more wins on board. So it's going to be a fun event.
Yeah, we've started doing a lot more non-traditional tournament style. We had the 1v1 tournament the other day. There was a 2v2 tournament last week. We're just trying to get more game modes out for you guys, so you don't just have to play 3v3 all the time. Because if you want to play 3v3, you can just come to 6-mans, because that will run all the time.
There you go. What time is that starting on Saturday?
I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern. standard SRC startup time is 3 p.m. Eastern. That way, it's a little bit later for the West Coasters. And actually, interesting information here. There is a confirmation now from Gluten Dad as of a little under an hour ago, basically confirming 2 new FRC robots coming.
Nice.
One of them is a tall turret shooter that will be able to shoot to the same location as it moves. So it's like an on-the-go shooter. So you can move around and shoot at the same time. And then the other one's a tall far shooter that can shoot across the field. So that is, both of those robots are definitely going to shake up the meta a lot. And I think that's coming out fairly soon. So we'll see a lot of interesting action potentially.
Robots.
We're doing my tournament. I'm just saying we better do it. I'm gonna be very disappointed if we don't do this now.
And what is that?
Each alliance have one of each robot.
That would be great.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We do now have 3 robots, so I think that might be something we'll look at soon.
I would love to do that sometime, maybe after June Champs.
But when is that going to be released, by the way?
Unconfirmed.
Feels like it.
Yeah, but I've been hearing rumblings that there's a big update just coming out soon, including with the FTC stuff. I think they've been doing some remodeling of a lot of the way that they look like graphically, so that they look like real FTC robots, which is going to be kind of cool instead of like rendered kind of generic ones. I don't know the exact day, but I think he was saying potentially before the end of the month. So exciting stuff.
They got a couple
out.
more months before the new FTC game comes out. So.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of
the
one nice thing with Infinite Recharge, at least, is we know that it's going to be around for another year, so it's a lot of time to still make changes to it.
Yeah, they're not changing the game a bunch. I mean, they'll probably change it a little for 2021, but that should make coding the new one less difficult for Gluten Dad if he decides to do it. So.
What happens if he doesn't? Somebody must take up the mantle. Or we need to give him some money.
Someone will have to take up the mantle. Start paying.
We all appreciate the amount of work Gluten Dad has put into this.
No kidding.
Yeah,
just for our entertainment. It's kind of insane for me because I get tired after refereeing one event a weekend. So I can't imagine how much work Gluten Dad puts in, and I'm very impressed and grateful for what he's doing for our community.
For sure.
Dad. What's the word I'm looking for? I am forgotten what I was gonna say, but that's okay, I guess. Turret bot can handle defense, but won't necessarily take into account its own speed. Tall far shooter is a single point shooter, so you'll have to align it, but it will be accurate.
So it will shoot far?
Yeah. So
man, shoot from the trench.
I think it's modeled. After 2481. At least the concept was.
Richard, your days are numbered as a defensive bot.
Yeah.
Yes, giant wheel.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
It's gonna be really interesting. That's definitely gonna shake up the way the game is played, and people have been grinding world records too, and still been finding edges, but this might change everything as well on that front.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing a lot of FRC Sim lately just because I don't know. I played so much of it, I feel like I needed a break. But with the new robots, oh man, I'm jumping back
Revitalized.
in there.
I'm just gonna think
it's gonna be great.
Even for 6-mans, it'll change the meta too, right? Because you're gonna have
Definitely
people who make a certain robot, or maybe we hand out random robot assignments. Who's to say?
Where do you see this? Where is this posted, by the way?
So this was posted in the official XRC Sim server in the Robot Suggestions channel.
Awesome. So, yeah, guys, by the way, make sure, there is the XRC server and then also this Fancy First server. So make sure you're in both those Discords as well, too, so you can play in all these awesome events.
Yeah, and for sure, we're going to look at... that'll also mean there's more world records up for debate now, up for grabs.
I believe I briefly held a very specific world record yesterday, and no longer have it. So
Yay.
that's a moral victory.
Wait, which
fastest on the 70 points. Fastest to 70 points in the Vex. I think I still have it if you consider with the auto pushback still on a separate category, which probably shouldn't. But you know, I don't know. I had fun playing that. I'll probably play some more of that. I'd like to have. I'd like to play with the new FRC robots that are coming out. That'll be fun, sure. So yeah.
We need to do like a marathon tournament where it's you get all three.
WV Rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying with all three sims.
Oh, and even
That'd
sure.
be
That sounds.
I'm sure we can get Manchester from First and Texas from VRC to all collaborate in this, right?
I have an excellent idea. It's so good.
Maybe.
No.
We do that with calls in every single game, like a call system in all of them, but they all go feed to the same ranking. And with that ranking, you draft, you do line selection like normal, but then in playoffs you do one for each game for the 3-game set.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, but how does that work for the third game?
It could be like FTC, how you have to have each robot has to play at least once.
Yeah, I get that, but in many cases you don't go to 3 games, is what I'm saying.
Make it a best.
Right, but
yeah, you can do that.
Well, the thing, you wouldn't go to 3 games, but if you only play, if someone wins the first 2 games, they still would have won the no matter what the other one was, it would be a win. I don't know if it really matters.
So then you go, because someone could reverse sweep.
Yeah, it's just
5.
Which game goes first and which game is the one that ends up not being played isn't going to give any team an advantage.
Yeah, you have the higher seed pick the first game or something. I don't know.
Just play all 3 of them. It doesn't matter the order.
That's true.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of fun, different things we can do, and if anybody has any ideas, let the staff know, and we're always willing to hear out some of these kind of crazy and wacky tournament ideas, because it can definitely make things fun.
Spice up a little.
I have tried. I actually tried. It was not very successul. But I did do it on purpose. I forgot to change the robot, but I was like, well, I'm here, might as well try. But yeah.
Do the balls go? The balls?
I mean, the balls can go in your robot, kind of, but scoring is not really possible for sure.
Oh. Just like
pushbot 2 tourney, that would go really well.
Yeah.
Especially if that bug is still in the game. I don't know if it is.
I think it has gotten patched out, the infinite score thing.
Yeah,
Chat, we have a question in chat that actually is, if these new robots come out before this weekend, will we be using them in the All-Star event?
That's a good question.
We'll think about it. We'll talk about it.
We'll have to figure it out. Yeah, it might be cool to kind of showcase the new robots and the gameplay with that. Maybe in like a fun mode, or I don't know. Depends on when it comes out and that kind of thing.
All right, so this is going to be our last match for Monday night SRC. Of course, you can still play in the 6-mans afterwards, but just want to let everybody know this will be the last match that we're streaming.
Of course, if you want to hear our wonderful color commentary, hang out in voice chat. We are like this all the time.
That is accurate. I can confirm. If you need Cobby ASMR, you know who to talk to.
Trying to list all the names of all the towns in Oregon. That happens sometimes.
It's happened more than once, believe it or not. It's a very fun thing to do. I love it.
Like where they name every country in Animaniacs show, which I know I just really dated myself there.
I know that song.
I have no idea what that is.
It is not. It's different. Just, the point is that there are a bunch of places in Oregon that are hard to pronounce just by reading them. So I have somebody that's not particularly familiar with the state's geography just read a bunch of them off, and it's funny to me, a local who knows how to pronounce them, how they kind of butcher it a little bit. And then I do the same thing with French towns or French sounding towns in Quebec, where Tegan's not from Quebec but lives near there and speaks French, so she can laugh at my inability to read the French language.
Now, believe it or not, this match was 144 to 144 for a brief moment, but Red Alliance is running away with it today.
Yeah, that appears to be the case. But Jake 5468 would have an advantage in that game because he is, like me, an Oregon native. So, yeah.
Wait a moment. I know what would be perfect to end off this stream. Tyler.
What's that?
Discussing the
Animaniacs song.
If Tyler could sing the Animaniacs song to round us out in the last 13 seconds of the match.
I mean, I think the song lasts longer than that, but...
It does. It's like 3 minutes long.
Sing fast!
Oh, man. If I had everyone out there, United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Ghana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, then Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Burundi, Bahamas, Tobago, Samoa, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, in French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam. I can't do it in the right cadence that he does it, but...
So good.
By the way, it's one of my favorite voice actors. By the way, it's Rob Paulson plays that. He also plays Pinky from Pinky and the Brain as well, and a bunch of other
Warner,
stuff.
Right?
Yeah, Yakko, and then plays. I mean, he's played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. And then his counterpart, which is Maurice LaMarche, is another one of my favorite, who plays Brain in Pinky and the Brain. Is also in like Futurama and stuff like that as well too.
Right.
Oh, and then logging out with the crab raid.
We gotta end this one off on the classic SRC.
Perfect. All right,
thanks guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye now.
All right, take care.